You didn't fail because of them. You didn't lose because of life. You lost because you let you down. Every time you hit snooze, every time you skipped a workout, every time you said tomorrow instead of today, you let yourself down. And if you don't take control, you'll keep breaking promises to yourself. And when you do that, you stop believing in yourself. You are your biggest enemy. Nobody can stop you like you. It's not your parents, not your past, not your situation. It's you. Your mindset, your excuses, your fears. That's what's holding you back. If you want change, stop pointing fingers and start looking in the mirror. Discipline over motivation. Motivation is temporary, but discipline is forever. You don't need motivation to succeed. You need discipline. You need to do what you said you would do long after the feeling that made you say it is gone. Winners don't wait to feel like it, they just do it. Stop negotiating with yourself. You said you were going to wake up at 5 a.m., but then at 5 a.m. you tell yourself 5 more minutes. You're negotiating with your own success. The moment you stop making deals with your comfort, you start winning. Pain is temporary, regret is forever. Yeah, it hurts to grind. Yeah, it's hard to wake up early, to put in the work, to stay disciplined, but pain is temporary. Regret, that lasts forever. You either suffer the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. You choose. Your actions must match your goals. You say you want success, but do your actions show it? You want to be fit, but you eat junk. You want to be rich, but you waste time. You want a better life, but you don't make better choices. If your actions don't align with your goals, you're just dreaming. Prove yourself right, not them wrong. Forget proving people wrong. That's weak. Prove yourself right. Prove that you can be disciplined, that you can be successful, that you can build the life you want. When you stop chasing external validation and start believing in yourself, that's when you truly win. Nobody can stop you like you can. It's not your parents, not your past, not your circumstances. It's you, your mindset, your excuses, your fears. That's what's holding you back. You might think the world is against you, but the truth is the biggest enemy you will ever face is the one looking back at you in the mirror. That's the person who keeps making excuses, who keeps hitting snooze, who keeps saying, I'll start tomorrow. That's the person who knows exactly what needs to be done, but chooses comfort over growth. Every time you allow yourself to take the easy route, you're not just delaying progress, you're breaking trust with yourself. You say you want to be successful, but do your actions reflect that? You say you want to be in the best shape of your life, but do you show up every single day and put in the work? You say you want financial freedom, but do you actually discipline yourself to learn, to sacrifice, to build something that will last? The problem isn't the world. The problem is that you are not following through on your own promises. When you set goals but don't take action, you are lying to yourself. And the worst thing you can do is stop believing in yourself. Because once that happens, it's over. You start making excuses that sound reasonable, but deep down, you know the truth. You know that nobody else is stopping you. It's your own fears. It's your own doubts. It's your own habits. You let the voice in your head tell you it's okay to quit. You let the voice in your head convince you that it's not the right time. You let the voice in your head whisper that you'll never make it. And you believe it. But what if for once you stop listening to that voice? What if you decided that enough was enough? What if you got up and said, I'm done standing in my own way? What if instead of making excuses, you took action? See, every successful person has had to battle their own mind. They've had moments where they wanted to quit. They've had times when they didn't feel like putting in the work. But the difference is they didn't let those feelings control them. They didn't let their fears make the decisions. They decided that their goals were more important than their comfort. They refused to let themselves down. The reality is you're either your greatest enemy or your greatest asset. You either hold yourself back or push yourself forward. The world isn't going to make it easy for you. Life isn't going to hand you success. But if you're willing to be honest with yourself, brutally honest, you'll realize that everything you've been waiting for is already within you. The strength, the discipline, the power. It's all there. You just have to stop letting fear run your life. Fear is the biggest liar you'll ever meet. Fear tells you that you're not good enough. Fear tells you that you should wait until you're ready. But you will never feel ready. You will never wake up one day and magically feel prepared. The only way to become ready is to take action despite the fear. The only way to succeed is to step forward even when you don't know what's coming next. You're not stuck because of your circumstances. You're stuck because of your mindset. If you keep telling yourself that you can't do it, you won't. If you keep convincing yourself that you're not capable, you'll never try. But if you wake up every day and decide that you are willing to fight for your future, nothing can stop you. Nobody else can force you to take action. Nobody else can make you want it. You have to want it for yourself. You have to wake up every single day and decide that you will not let yourself down, because at the end of the day, you're not competing against anyone else. You're competing against the version of yourself that's lazy, that's doubtful, that's scared, and every day you have to win that battle. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for someone to save you. You are your own savior. You are your own key to success. The day you take full responsibility for your life is the day everything changes. And that day is today. Motivation feels good, but it's unreliable. It comes in waves. And when it's there, everything seems possible. You feel inspired, you feel ready, and you tell yourself that this time things will be different. But what happens when that feeling disappears? What happens when you wake up and you don't feel like doing the work? What happens when the excitement fades, when the energy drops, when the reality of how hard the journey actually is starts to settle in? That's where most people quit. That's where most people say, maybe this isn't for me. Not because they can't do it, but because they were relying on motivation instead of discipline. Motivation is like a spark. It can start a fire, but it won't keep it burning. Discipline is what turns that spark into a lasting flame. Discipline is what keeps you going on the days when you don't feel like it. Discipline is what separates the people who dream from the people who actually achieve. Anyone can be motivated for a day, a week, even a month, but what happens when life gets in the way? What happens when you're tired? What happens when your schedule gets busy? When things don't go as planned? When the excitement is gone? That's when discipline kicks in. That's when the real winners separate themselves from everyone else. The truth is, successful people don't always feel like doing the work. They don't always feel like waking up early, hitting the gym, studying, grinding, pushing themselves to be better. But they do it anyway, because they understand that success isn't about how you feel, it's about what you do. It's about showing up even when you don't feel like it. It's about making the choice day after day to push forward, even when nobody is watching, even when nobody is clapping, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Motivation will tell you to go to the gym when you feel good, but discipline will make you go even when you're tired. Motivation will tell you to work hard when things are exciting, but discipline will make you work hard even when progress is slow. Motivation will make you start, but discipline is what will carry you through to the end. The problem is, most people wait for motivation. They wait for that perfect moment when they feel ready. But the truth is, that moment may never come. You may never wake up one day feeling 100% excited, energized, and ready to take on the world. And if you wait for that moment, you'll never start. Or worse, you'll start, but the moment that motivation disappears, you'll stop. Think about the most successful people in the world: athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, leaders. Do you think they feel like working every single day? Yeah, of course not. But they've built the habit of discipline. They've trained themselves to take action no matter what. They don't let their emotions dictate their actions. They don't let temporary feelings control their destiny. They wake up, they show up, and they do the work, because they understand that success isn't a feeling, it's a habit. You have to train yourself to take action no matter how you feel. You have to make a decision that your goals are bigger than your moods. You have to understand that consistency is more important than intensity. It's better to show up every day and put in steady work than to go all out for a few weeks and then quit. Discipline is about creating a system, a routine, a way of life that doesn't depend on how you feel. It's about programming yourself to take action, whether you're motivated or not. The best part, the more disciplined you become, the less you even need motivation. Because once you build those habits, once you create that routine, once you make that commitment to yourself, taking action becomes automatic. You don't think about whether you feel like doing it or not. You just do it. It becomes part of who you are. And when that happens, success is no longer a matter of if, it's only a matter of when. So stop waiting to feel like it. Stop waiting for motivation to show up. Stop making decisions based on temporary emotions. Start training yourself to act no matter what. Because when motivation fails, discipline is what will carry you through. And that's the difference between people who succeed and people who don't. You make a decision. You set a goal. You tell yourself that this time you're going to do it. But when the moment comes to take action, you hesitate. You start negotiating with yourself. You tell yourself you'll do it later, that you're too tired, that you don't have time, that today just isn't the right day. And just like that, the promise you made to yourself is broken. You said you were going to wake up early, but when the alarm goes off, you tell yourself you need 5 more minutes, then 10, then 20. Before you know it, you've overslept, and now you're rushing through your day making excuses for why you didn't stick to your plan. You said you were going to work out, but then you start thinking, maybe I should take a rest day. You said you were going to start that business, study for that exam, write that book, but when the time comes, you convince yourself that you'll start tomorrow. The problem is tomorrow never comes, because when you wake up the next day, the same voice in your head is going to tell you the same excuses. The same negotiation is going to happen, and the cycle will repeat itself over and over again. Before you know it, weeks have passed, months have passed, years have passed, and you're still in the same place, wondering why nothing has changed. You have to understand that every time you negotiate with yourself, you are delaying your own success. You are making it harder for yourself to believe in your own ability to follow through. The more you allow yourself to make excuses, the more those excuses become a habit. And once making excuses becomes your habit, failure becomes your reality. Successful people don't negotiate with themselves. They don't wait until they feel like it. They don't let their emotions decide whether or not they take action. They simply do what needs to be done. When they say they're going to wake up at 5 a.m., they wake up at 5 a.m. No snooze button, no second thoughts. When they say they're going to go to the gym, they go. It doesn't matter if they're tired. It doesn't matter if they had a long day. They do it because they made a commitment to themselves. And they refuse to break that commitment. You have to stop giving yourself options. Stop allowing yourself to make excuses. Stop debating with yourself about whether or not you're going to do what you said you would do. Because every time you give yourself room to negotiate, you're giving yourself room to fail. When you say you're going to do something, do it. No matter what. Think about the most disciplined people you know. Think about the athletes who train every single day, even when they don't feel like it. Think about the entrepreneurs who work late nights and early mornings, even when they're exhausted. Think about the people who have built incredible lives for themselves. Not because they were lucky, but because they refused to compromise. They refused to let their feelings get in the way of their goals. That's the kind of mindset you need to have. You need to make a decision and stick to it. No debate, no second guessing, no just this once exceptions. Because the second you let yourself off the hook, the second you say, it's okay, I'll do it later, you're training yourself to accept mediocrity. And if you keep accepting mediocrity, you will never achieve greatness. Your mind is always going to look for the easy way out. It's always going to try to protect you from discomfort, from effort, from struggle. But the struggle is where the growth happens. The pain is where the progress is made. If you can learn to push through that resistance, if you can learn to silence that voice in your head that tells you to quit, you will become unstoppable. So make the decision today that you will no longer negotiate with yourself. When you say you're going to do something, do it. When you set a goal, commit to it. When the alarm goes off, get up. When it's time to work, put in the effort. Because every time you follow through, you're proving to yourself that you are in control. And once you take control, nothing can stop you. You have to understand that the world doesn't owe you anything. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to hold your hand and make sure you succeed. You can have all the talent in the world, all the potential, all the dreams. But if you're waiting for someone to come along and push you to be great, you're going to be waiting forever. Too many people sit around blaming their circumstances, blaming their past, blaming their environment, waiting for the perfect opportunity, waiting for someone to come and make things easier for them. But life doesn't work that way. Success doesn't work that way. If you want to change your life, if you want to be great, you have to take full responsibility for where you are right now and where you're going. Because at the end of the day, nobody else is responsible for your success but you. It doesn't matter if you didn't have the best upbringing. It doesn't matter if you didn't have support. It doesn't matter if things have been hard. Life is hard for everybody in some way. We all have struggles. We all have obstacles. The difference between people who succeed and people who fail isn't their circumstances, it's their mindset. It's their willingness to take ownership of their life and do whatever it takes to win. You have to stop expecting people to believe in you if you don't even believe in yourself. You have to stop waiting for permission to go after what you want. You have to stop looking for validation. You have to stop blaming other people for where you are. Yes, maybe you've had some unfair things happen to you. Maybe you've been hurt. Maybe you've been let down, but guess what? That's life. That's part of the journey. You can either sit around and dwell on it, or you can use it as fuel to push forward. The truth is, nobody cares about your excuses. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you forever. At some point, you have to stand up and say, I'm going to make this happen no matter what. Because if you don't, years are going to pass. And you're still going to be in the same place talking about what could have been, what should have been, and what would have been if only things had been different. You have to take control of your life. You have to be the one to say, I'm going to make this happen. You have to be the one to show up every day and put in the work. You have to be the one to push past the pain, past the frustration, past the doubt, past the fear. Because if you don't, nobody else will do it for you. Every successful person you admire had to make that choice. They had to decide that no matter what happened, they were going to keep pushing. They were going to keep grinding. They were going to keep believing in themselves even when nobody else did. They were going to take full responsibility for their life and stop blaming anything or anyone for where they were. That's what it takes to be great. That's what it takes to win. It's easy to say you want to be successful. It's easy to dream. It's easy to talk about your goals. But when it comes time to actually put in the work, to actually make sacrifices, to actually push through discomfort, most people quit. Most people don't want it bad enough. They want the results, but they don't want the responsibility that comes with achieving those results. But if you're serious about changing your life, if you're serious about success, you have to stop making excuses. You have to stop waiting for things to be perfect. You have to stop expecting someone to come along and make it easy for you. That's not how success works. Success is earned. Success is fought for. Success is built through discipline, through consistency, through resilience. Nobody's going to give it to you. Nobody's going to hand you your dreams. You have to be willing to go out and take what's yours. You have to be willing to bet on yourself. You have to be willing to do whatever it takes, even when it's hard, even when it's lonely, even when it feels impossible. Because if you don't, you'll spend your whole life wishing you had. You have to understand that your mind is the most powerful weapon you have. It will either push you forward or hold you back. It will either make you unstoppable or make you quit before you even start. Every single day, your mind is working against you or working for you, and the choice is yours. You can train your mind to be strong, or you can let it stay weak. But if you don't take control of your thoughts will take control of you. Most people fail not because they lack talent, not because they lack opportunities, but because they lack the right mindset. They let fear dictate their actions. They let doubt talk them out of their dreams. They let negativity cloud their vision. The moment things get tough, they convince themselves that they're not good enough, that they can't do it, that it's too hard. And once that belief takes hold, it becomes their reality. You have to stop letting your mind work against you. You have to stop feeding it doubt, fear, and excuses. Every time you tell yourself, I can, you're making that belief stronger. Every time you hesitate, you're training your mind to accept failure before you even try. But just like you train your body in the gym, you can train your mind to be strong. You can teach yourself to push through fear, to keep going when things get tough, to believe in yourself no matter what. It all starts with what you tell yourself every day. Your words become your thoughts, and your thoughts become your reality. If you constantly tell yourself you're not good enough, that's exactly what you'll become. If you keep telling yourself you're not ready, you'll never be ready. But if you start telling yourself, I am capable, I am strong, I am built for this, eventually, your mind will start to believe it. And when your mind believes it, your actions will follow. Your biggest enemy isn't the competition. It's not your circumstances. It's not the obstacles in your way. Your biggest enemy is the voice in your head that tells you to quit. It's the voice that tells you you're not good enough. It's the voice that makes you procrastinate, that makes you doubt yourself, that makes you settle for less than you deserve. If you can learn to silence that voice, you can achieve anything. You have to start feeding your mind the right things. You have to start surrounding yourself with positivity. You have to start being intentional about what you allow into your head. Stop listening to people who tell you it's impossible. Stop consuming negativity. Stop letting doubt and fear control your life. Fill your mind with belief, with discipline, with confidence. Wake up every morning and tell yourself, I've got this. Go to bed every night knowing that you gave your best effort. Train your mind to expect success, not failure. The most successful people in the world don't have special advantages. They don't have secret formulas. They simply have mastered their minds. They have trained themselves to keep going when they feel like stopping. They have built the mental toughness to push through pain, through struggle, through setbacks. That's what separates the great from the average. You have to be willing to fight for your mindset. Every single day you have to choose strength over weakness, discipline over excuses, belief over doubt. It won't be easy. Your mind will fight you. It will try to pull you back into your comfort zone. It will try to keep you where you are. But if you keep pushing, if you keep training your mind to be strong, eventually it will work for you instead of against you. You have to decide today that you will take control of your thoughts. You will not let fear win. You will not let doubt stop you. You will not let negativity define your future. Because once your mind is strong, once you believe in yourself fully, there is nothing in this world that can stop you. There will never be a perfect time. There will never be a moment when everything lines up exactly the way you want it to. If you're waiting for the right time to start, you'll be waiting forever. Too many people sit on the sidelines of their own life, telling themselves they'll take action when the time is right. When they have more money, when they feel more confident, when they have more experience. But that perfect moment doesn't exist. The longer you wait, the more opportunities pass you by, and the more you let time slip through your fingers. The truth is, life is unpredictable. Things will always come up. There will always be obstacles, always be challenges, always be distractions. If you keep waiting for the stars to align, you'll wake up one day realizing you've wasted years making excuses instead of making progress. Success isn't about waiting for the perfect conditions. It's about making the most of what you have where you are right now. It's about taking that first step even when you don't feel ready, even when you're scared, even when the path ahead is uncertain. The biggest difference between people who succeed and people who fail is that successful people take action. They don't overthink. They don't second guess. They don't talk themselves out of opportunities. They see an opening and they move. They don't sit around wondering if they're good enough, if they're ready, if it's the right time. They start, they adjust, they learn, and they grow. Fear will always try to hold you back. It will whisper in your ear that you're not ready, that you don't have what it takes, that you might fail, and maybe you will fail. Maybe you won't get it right the first time, but failure is not the end. It's just a step in the process. Every mistake, every setback, every lesson learned brings you closer to success. The only real failure is never starting at all. You have to stop letting fear control your decisions. You have to stop waiting for everything to be comfortable before you take action. Growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. Success doesn't come to people who play it safe. If you want something, you have to be willing to go after, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's uncertain, even when you don't feel completely ready. You'll never know everything before you start. You'll never be 100% prepared. But preparation comes through experience. You learn by doing. You grow by stepping into the unknown. Every great entrepreneur, every great athlete, every great leader started before they were ready. They didn't have all the answers. They didn't know exactly how things would work out, but they had faith in themselves. They had the courage to take that first step, to figure things out along the way, to adapt and keep moving forward. The best time to start was yesterday. The next best time is right now. Not next week, not next month, not next year, right now. Because every day you wait, you're falling further behind. Every day you wait, you're letting fear win. Every day you wait, you're missing out on the chance to become the person you were meant to be. It's time to stop making excuses. It's time to stop talking yourself out of your own potential. It's time to stop hesitating and start doing. You have a dream, chase it. You have a goal, work for it. You have a vision, build it. It won't be easy. It won't be perfect, but if you take that first step, if you commit to moving forward no matter what, you will be amazed at what you can accomplish. Nobody is going to do it for you. Nobody is going to hand you your dreams. If you want it, you have to take it. If you're waiting for permission, this is it. If you're waiting for a sign, this is your sign. The only thing standing between you and success is the decision to start. So stop waiting, stop hesitating, stop letting fear win. Take that step today, because the longer you wait, the more you let life pass you by. There will never be a perfect time. There will never be a moment when everything lines up exactly the way you want it to. If you're waiting for the right time to start, you'll be waiting forever. Too many people sit on the sidelines of their own life, telling themselves they'll take action when the time is right, when they have more money, when they feel more confident, when they have more experience. But that perfect moment doesn't exist. The longer you wait, the more opportunities pass you by, and the more you let time slip through your fingers. The truth is, life is unpredictable. Things will always come up. There will always be obstacles, always be challenges, always be distractions. If you keep waiting for the stars to align, you'll wake up one day realizing you've wasted years making excuses instead of making progress. Success isn't about waiting for the perfect conditions. It's about making the most of what you have where you are right now. It's about taking that first step even when you don't feel ready, even when you're scared, even when the path ahead is uncertain. The biggest difference between people who succeed and people who fail is that successful people take action. They don't overthink, they don't second guess, they don't talk themselves out of opportunity. They see an opening and they move. They don't sit around wondering if they're good enough, if they're ready, if it's the right time. They start, they adjust, they learn, and they grow. Fear will always try to hold you back. It will whisper in your ear that you're not ready, that you don't have what it takes, that you might fail. And maybe you will fail. Maybe you won't get it right the first time. But failure is not the end. It's just a step in the process. Every mistake, every setback, every lesson learned brings you closer to success. The only real failure is never starting at all. You have to stop letting fear control your decisions. You have to stop waiting for everything to be comfortable before you take action. Growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. Success doesn't come to people who play it safe. If you want something, you have to be willing to go after it, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's uncertain, even when you don't feel completely ready. You'll never know everything before you start. You'll never be 100% prepared, but preparation comes through experience. You learn by doing. You grow by stepping into the unknown. Every great entrepreneur, every great athlete, every great leader started before they were ready. They didn't have all the answers. They didn't know exactly how things would work out, but they had faith in themselves. They had the courage to take that first step, to figure things out along the way, to adapt and keep moving forward. The best time to start was yesterday. The next best time is right now. Not next week, not next month, not next year, right now. Because every day you wait, you're falling further behind. Every day you wait, you're letting fear win. Every day you wait, you're missing out on the chance to become the person you were meant to be. It's time to stop making excuses. It's time to stop talking yourself out of your own potential. It's time to stop hesitating and start doing. You have a dream, chase it. You have a goal, work for it. You have a vision, build it. It won't be easy, it won't be perfect. But if you take that first step, if you commit to moving forward no matter what, you will be amazed at what you can accomplish. Nobody's gonna do it for you. Nobody's gonna hand you your dreams. If you want it, you have to take it. If you're waiting for permission, this is it. If you're waiting for a sign, this is your sign. The only thing standing between you and success is the decision to start. So stop waiting, stop hesitating, stop letting fear win. Take that step today, because the longer you wait, the more you let life pass you by,